So this failure to win a world championship title, because this is a podcast all about learning and what data we can acquire from failures, what do you think you've learned from it?
To have a wider view of things when you do them, and because what I think I learned of it is I should have left earlier. When you get the feeling it's not right, listen to your feeling. I had the feeling, but then obviously being in F1, you're attracted. It's everybody's interested. You create a lot of interest in it, and you are almost afraid to call it quits. But then when you call it quits, it's actually better. Whatever it is. And I think, and you rightly say, failure makes you good, in my opinion. Failure makes you good. I mean, you have to be careful with failures as well. If you fall too hard, it's not good, But anyway, and what I learned here is like, next time around, or whenever it is, I will listen more to my inner feelings, not to my ego.
Very good advice. Do you think you could be a team principal again?
I think I could, yeah, but I don't know. And again, I don't have to decide. I don't go around to say to shop for a job as a team principal. I'm not doing that. If there is a project out there where I like the project and I can see something possible to do with the support, the people involved in it, yes, I do it. But I'm not hunting for a team principal job in the moment. I'm very busy now. I enjoy what I'm doing now. I set up a company. I've got my own company in North Carolina in the States, which, gives me some security, or quite a good security. So I don't need a job. But what I do, I was lucky as well in life. I always had 90% of the time, the jobs I had, I really enjoyed them. I can do what I like to do in life, and that's something, it's a privilege, and I know that, so, I want to continue to do this. I'm doing, doing TV work. I enjoy it because I learn a lot. At some stage, maybe I don't want to do it anymore, but then I go and do the next thing, because thing after thing comes. Because after I left Haas, when it was announced, I thought, I've got a year. I take it easy, because spend a little bit more time with the family, enjoy life. The day after it was announced, I got the phone started ringing, emails. Can you do this? You want to do this? You want to do that? And then all of a sudden you're in this mill again, just doing a different job. But I'm very busy, so I'm enjoying it, and that is what I want to do. I enjoy it. Yeah, I need to work hard, because at the races with TV work and appearances, you're on a schedule. But I like it, and I choose to do it. I don't have to do it, which is a nice thing to be. So back to your question, it was a long answer.
It was a good answer.
It's like, yeah, if the project is right, I go back. I could be a team principal, but it's not something I'm upset in the morning when I wake up not to be a team principal. I'm pretty good with it, not being one. Yeah.
You touched on it there about spending time with your family, and it brings us on to your second failure, which I'm really touched that you have chosen to talk about this with me. Thank you. Your second failure, as you put it, is as her father not spending enough time with Greta, your daughter, when she was young and growing up.
Yeah, I got a father pretty late. She's only 15.
How old are you? Sorry.
22. 59.
59, okay.
59, yeah, 59.
So how old were you? I'm trying to do the maths. 44.
44, yeah, 44, yeah. So it was pretty late, and at the time I was setting up my company, and I was a lot more at home.
And what's your company, sorry?
It's a composite company.
Okay.
Composite company, yeah. We have got now 230 people. My business partner runs it. Yeah, we grew up pretty well, and my business partner runs it, day-to-day basis. So they don't want me in because I mess it up, by the way. No, I started that company, and then Greta was born. We started the same year. I started the company when she was born, but I was a lot at home. And then all this Haas F1 started, and I started to travel. And it's, I think a lot of people say when they get older, I regret not to have seen my kids enough. And I always thought, yeah, that is just a jargon, everybody says that. But then now that I had the chance to be more at home, I had the chance, am I away again? It was, I could see how much she missed it. I was not really aware how much she missed it, and now she starts to complain again because I'm gone a little bit more, like in the like the beginning of the year. But I still, and that's the thing, is like, yeah, did I miss out? Yes, absolutely. I'm not proud of myself, about that one. But then it's one of these other things. I was on a mission as well, and I tried to give back as much as I can. You never can give back time. The only thing you cannot buy is time. So I will never overcome this, but I realized it, and I try somehow to make up for it. It will not be possible. And she mentioned pretty often, you're always away. And now if I go away, she actually says, you're going away again. You said you stay at home. So it makes you feel guilty. But when you're in this in this run, in this, when you keep on going and going, you actually do not realize what you miss out of, until it's the same like when you're in it, you just don't realize it, And I always thought when I was younger, everybody says, oh, I missed seeing my children growing up, But until you experience it, I at least didn't realize how important it is.
What do you think you missed out on?
Just being around for her, because I think I missed out to understand how much a child actually loves you, because you took other priorities, and somehow they feel that you're not number one in your that they are not number one in your life, and I think you just miss out on time you can spend with them. And as I said before, you cannot buy time.
You mentioned earlier that your father died when you were 18, and I wonder how that has informed your own approach to fatherhood and to time.
Yeah, it's difficult to say, because if the father goes this, I was very young. I had a whole life in front of me. It's just like you deal with the situation, and maybe my parents, they worked very hard to give us a good upbringing, so they were not always around, and maybe I was maybe used a little bit to that one, to be on my own a lot, and then didn't realize that is not normality. For me, normality is different than maybe it should be. And then I assumed also to Greta that because this was normal for me, it should be normal for her. And you don't realize, you make a good point there.
And how was your wife coping with this situation where because you do have to travel an enormous amount, you're on the road 10 months a year. So she presumably was a full-time parent. Did you ever feel that you were letting her down?
I would say, I said before, I'm married 30 years this year, and when we met, I was already. She doesn't know any different. It's not an excuse; it's a fact. Obviously she wasn't happy, and what I always tried to do when it was possible, not to take her to all the races, because there's no point to take your partner to work, But when there was a nice place we went to, she, for example, came to about 4 to 5 races a year, which makes it a lot better. But it is not easy, and I have a lot of respect for that, for her, that she brought Greta up, and I'm very thankful of that. And but it's one of these things. It gets normality, and it shouldn't be. But it's normality. But I know it is not normal, but in the end, on a day-to-day basis, I don't thank her every day that she does it, but she knows that I actually respect it a lot, in the end. But also, I think what she knows, I need to be happy in what I'm doing. Otherwise, I'm a miserable person. Me having me sitting at home with nothing to do is not fun. I wouldn't say I get. I'm just not fulfilled. I'm in a bad mood. I'm bored. She knows that I always need something to do, and sometimes she tells me, like in the moment, you need to calm down a little bit. You're trying to do too much again, but that's my nature. I always want to do something. So I think I still have to find that happy balance between doing too much and doing too little. There's something in between, but I never hit that.
So how do you think you've stayed married for 30 years? What are the secrets to it?
I think we get on very well. We respect each other. And I think respect is a lot of each other. Obviously, every marriage has got its problems. I mean, our one, it was not perfect, I must say, but it was good. It was very good. And I mean, she's here now with me in London. I take her with me because she loves London. I said, just come with me. We try to spend time together. But I think it's just because when we moved from our home place, we moved to, I lived in the UK for 10 years. We got married, and the year after we moved to England, then we moved to the States. We always did this together. We always did this together. It was always, she was there for the adventure with me. And I think that kept it together. If I would have said, oh, you stay back in Italy, I come back, then no, let's do it. Let's do this. And if it doesn't work, we go and do something different. I think that's what it is. And I think she quite likes, the adventures. What she must be, because otherwise she wouldn't be with me, because it's not a boring life she's having, being married with me for 30 years, because as you can imagine, sometimes I'm not the easiest guy to deal with, but I think it's just like we started a trip and we are still traveling,
I love that. You're going on the adventure together. I hope you enjoyed that video. Be sure to check out the full episode of How to Fail wherever you get your podcasts, and also make sure you're following us on social media for all the latest updates.